Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca and I make videos because I live in Italy, and I make videos to try to help people who want to move away, not only to Italy but just want a change in life. They want to move somewhere else. Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about visas that you can apply for post Brexit. Okay, before Brexit it was easy for anybody from the UK, England, wherever to come and live here in Italy or in Europe with ease. Okay, you were able to find work and also to reside in Italy. But now things have changed. Post Brexit, things have changed. So I'm going to discuss a few options, a few visa options that you can apply for where you can stay in Italy, where you can move to Italy, where you could live in Italy for an extended period of time. So let's get stuck into the video. Okay, so visa one is the Elective Residency Visa. Okay, and this visa is best for people, for retirees, for remote workers, for anybody with a passive income, for pensioners. So basically, if you've got like a passive income coming in, it's good for you. Okay, you can apply for this visa. But you cannot work in Italy if you are on this visa. So that you can't plan to work, you just have to live off your passive income. I'm looking in this corner because this is where I've got my notes, by the way. Okay, so key requirements for this visa are that you must not work for an international or Italian companies while you're in Italy. You need to be able to demonstrate that you have a stable income, a stable passive income of at least 31,000 euros per year per individual. Okay, and more if you're a couple or if you're a family. You need to be able to show proof of accommodation, rental or ownership. So maybe I think this means if you're living from rental properties, you need to be able to show that you've got income coming from there. Also, to add, you need to be able to have private insurance that's valid in Italy. Okay, so the pros of this visa are that you can stay here long term and it's renewable. Also, it's perfect for digital nomads with a passive income. Cons, you can't legally work or freelance in Italy. And the next con is it requires a significant amount of savings or a regular passive income. So you need to have that money coming in regularly, I would think. And I guess the first time that you apply for the visa, if you've got 31,000 coming in, but the next time you apply and it's a lot less, maybe there might be a problem there. So you have to consistently have that amount of money coming in. Visa option 2 is a self-employment visa. This is for freelance workers, it's for consultants, it's for entrepreneurs, it's for anybody that invoices clients. Okay, non-EU nationals wanting to start a company or a business in Italy is also for you. So if you have a business idea and you want to start something in Italy, it can be for you. You can apply for this visa. All right, the key requirements for this visa is you must apply for self-employment quota. Okay, so from what I know about that, there's only a certain amount of time where you can apply for this work visa. Okay, the employment work visa, and it's only a small window. And I think it's, you know what, I don't remember when it is, but on my website, when I write this blog post up, I'm going to put all of the details in there for you. So there's only a small window and there's only a certain amount of people that can apply for this visa per year. All right. So you have to apply within this certain amount of time. Right. So you also have to register for a partita IVA. This is an Italian VAT number you have to register for. That, you know, if you're going to be self-employed, you need to have this. I guess it's something quite similar to if you have a business in the UK and you register with Customs House. That's what it's like. You need to have proof of client contracts, projected income, and a business plan. So basically, you need to have all your ducks in a row to show the immigration or wherever the people are, is that you are serious and that you have a business plan and you've got projected sales and you're going to be basically making money. Okay, you also need to have proof of adequate funds and also accommodation. So you need to have money already. I think you need to show that you have a substantial amount of money to start the business and also for you to live on as well, or to live off. And you need to also have a police clearance check. So some type of criminal check you need to have to be able to get this visa. All right, so the pros of this visa are you can live and work in Italy legally as a freelancer. Okay, yeah, that's kind of like an obvious pro. Also, this visa is renewable and can lead to a permanent residency. So I guess so. If you've got a business here and it's doing really well, they'll probably eventually give you permanent residency. Okay, cons of this visa are the application process is very slow and there's a lot of paperwork and expect it to take time. And there are a limited number of approvals each and every year. So there's only, like I said, a small window and only a certain amount of people that can apply for this visa. So you've got to be fast, you've got to be quick, and you've got to have all your documents and all your paperwork ready for this if you want to go ahead and do this type of visa. Okay? Visa option number 3 is a work visa. And I think most of you are probably going to be interested in a work visa. So the best people for these visas are people who have a job offer from an Italian company. So you need to already have a job offer from an Italian company, okay? This visa I know is very confusing for a lot of people because some people don't know when to apply for this visa. They don't know whether they should have this visa before starting work or have the visa after starting work. And some companies won't give you the visa won't give you the job if you don't already have a visa. So it can be quite confusing and a little bit complicated, guys. But it's for you to do your research. I'm just giving you the sprinkles of information and you have to go and find out the rest. Okay, so like I said, you have to have an offer from an Italian company. Next point, you have to be like a skilled worker, somebody that they're looking for, somebody possibly in healthcare, maybe like a doctor or some specialist or something like that, or somebody in IT, an engineer, or in some type of trade. I'm thinking like a trade that they really need somebody for. They're crying out for these type of people in trade. And then if you have that skill, they will, you're more likely to get that job. So the key requirements for this visa are the employer in Italy must apply for a work permit. So the employer has to apply for the work permit, okay? And I've read different things in different places. So like I said before, you have to try to work that out. They need to apply for a nulla osta for you on your behalf. Okay. Issued on okay, so basically again, like I mentioned the one before, the visa before, there's only a certain amount of people that can apply for this type of visa. And I'm not sure if it's a certain amount of people per profession, maybe in IT or maybe in it. And I think it's for the whole of Italy. All right, I'm going to go in more detail on this over on my blog. Okay. My blog, I'm going to write it right here, and it's also going to be linked in the description. Right. Next point. It requires a signed work contract, valid passport, and a proof of accommodation. That's what you need for that. So can you do this while you're outside of Italy? I know they can be these visa processes can be a little bit tricky. I especially know this one can be a little bit tricky. So, all right. So the pros of this work visa are we work illegally with a salary. Did I say illegally? Work legally with a salary and benefits. Okay. Also, the pros are a path to a long-term residency and citizenship. So this is you're on the path of the residency and citizenship. So yeah, it might be a bit longer for you to get this type of visa, but it's worth it if you're looking for something long-term and you want to live in Italy long-term. Okay, so the cons are you must secure a job first. Yeah, so you have to secure the job first. It's confusing, right? You have to, yeah. All right. Italy's immigration quotas, like I said before, are tight and not always open. So when you apply for this, you got to apply at the correct time. There has to be a time. I don't think you can just do it at any point. Okay, so that's that one. It may be confusing, but you know what, guys? You can do it. Okay, next one is number 4 is a student visa, okay? A student visa. I know a lot of people that's come around a student visa. All right, so this is best for students enrolling in a recognized Italian university, language school or training programs. So it can also be a language school. There are many language schools with courses for like 1 year, 52 weeks. English course where you go in like 4 times a week, those types. Or there are universities, language schools, so you can go in different ways. If you want to get a little taster of what Italy is about and you want to learn the language while you're here, you can definitely take this route and just go to a recognized school and language school and then go down that road. People interested in long-term residency with the goal of converting their status later, e.g. from student to worker, okay? So you could be on a student visa and then with time you can then apply for to be a worker. That might be easier than going directly to doing the work visa. Okay, key requirements. You need proof of admission to a course. You need proof of funds of around 6,000 to 10,000 for 1 year. You need proof of accommodation and private health insurance. You also need some student visas allow limited work hours. Oh yeah, some student visas allow limited work hours of like 20 hours. So you can only work for 20 hours. Okay, I think this is the same in most countries anyway. On a student visa, you can't work full time. So you'd have that money that they suggest you have, that 6,000 to 10,000 to live on, to pay your rent or whatever. All right, so pros of this visa are it's easy to get than the work visa. I mentioned that. You can convert it to a work or a self-employment visa later. Yeah. The cons of this are you must genuinely be a student. I don't know if it's a con, but you must genuinely be a student, and limited availability to earn money initially. So you need to be able to, if you're going to come here on that visa, you need to be able to live well and be able to pay your rent while you're studying, and also while you have to pay for the course as well. Remember that too. Okay, the last one is a digital nomad visa, okay? This is expected to come about at some point this year, 2025. There've been talks of this visa for a while, so, hopefully everything goes well with this visa. This visa is best for remote workers employed by a non-Italian company or non-Italian companies, okay? So freelance working online for international companies. So you can be in Italy and work for international companies. You don't have to work for a company in Italy. You're free. Key expected requirements based on the draft. Okay, so these are some of the requirements, but they're not set in stone. So non-EU working remotely, not for Italian companies, I mentioned that before. Minimum income threshold of estimated 25,000 to 30,000 per year. So that's the minimum. You need to have private health insurance, proof of remote work status. You need to have a contract or a freelance setup already in place. Yeah. So you would already have to have been working as a freelancer to be able to show them that you have this type of income coming in, because it doesn't say a projected income. It says income, minimum income. All right. And you also need proof of how much you're getting. So the pros of this visa are it's tailored to remote workers. It allows legal residents and work while staying fully location independent. Next pro is it will simplify the process for UK-based remote workers moving to Italy. Okay. Of this are it is due to be launched in April, so this month is the month that it should have been or has launched. Specifics, e.g. the duration and renewal, if you can bring family members over, are all still pending on this visa. So I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error with this visa, to be fair. I think we're just going to have to see how it goes, and then this digital nomad visa. All right, well, basically that is the end of the video. Those are all of the visas, the 5 visas. Which visa are you going to go for? Tell me, which one are you interested in? I know a lot of people are probably interested in the work one or the student one, but the sound of it to me seems that the student one is the easiest route to go down, especially if you just want to experience Italy for a little while, but also you need to have some money set aside for that, some savings in your account, also money for your course. And I think money for a long-term course can cost you anything from for 1 year, anything like 5,000 euros. So 6,000 euros with some of the private schools. And then you'd also need some type of accommodation, maybe rent a room, maybe paying, depending on which city you're in, paying 300, anything from 250, maybe 350 per month. So all of those things you need to take into account, but it's definitely all possible. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video and it was helpful. I will see you in another video. Thank you and ciao. Oh, please remember to like and subscribe. That is very, very important. Please do that. Ciao.